Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Total Heroes Detective Batman from Mattel. Now this line is pretty much what, it hasn't replaced DC Universe Classics or, Unlimited, whatever you see that line as. It's just what has followed on from it. Now a lot of people have said that this line is kind of more driven towards kids, and there are a lot of reasons that you can see that, and I'll be going over those later. But I'm also going to be going over the reasons why I think that they are very suited to collectors. And another one of those reasons is something I'm just going to bring up right now, amongst other DC things that I have that are coming up for review, just to show you guys. There is the Batman Beyond DC Heroes Ultra. Now, the Ultra figures are the ones that you can only get from MattyCollector.com. And it does say Adult Collector up on the top of the box, up there in the corner. So these kind of ones that come with all the accessories and everything are more suited to a collector. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of kids, obviously nowadays, that are getting their toys and whatnot, that aren't going to know what the animated series are, or Batman Beyond, or anything like that. So certain ones of these are for collectors, and obviously if you have some of these, you might want some of these to fluff out your collection. I mean, you can be a collector of anything. It doesn't matter if something is more driven towards kids or not. But then there is the Bat-Zaro signature collection figure that I will also be doing a review of soon. And then also related to DC that are not from Mattel are the Starfire, the DC Collectibles New 52, and then also the animated series Catwoman. So if you want to see those, go ahead and subscribe and stay tuned for the channel, but for now let's get on with this review. So as you can see, you can clearly see the figure in the box, very, very nice in there. And then onto the back you see three other figures from the line. We get a little bio, just like on the Universe Classics figures, just of the character, and then we have a picture of the New 52 version of Batman fighting Penguin there. So let's get this thing open and take a closer look. So here is the Detective Batman out of the packaging, and it is a really, really good action figure. So it does have a little bit of a New 52 kind of styling to it. There is a black version, which is just a normal version, and then this one is just called the Detective Batman. They do come with different accessories, so it's not exactly the same packaged figure. So here is the DC Universe Classics New 52 All-Stars Batman, and they are both 6.5 inches tall, so he is actually the same size as the Classics line. Obviously, he has a completely different style about him. It's not kind of derived from any comic book or anything. It's just a completely new design. I guess you could say it's a bit more kid-friendly, but I don't know. Kids, can still love these figures and whatnot, so that doesn't really change the matter. It just kind of has more of a kind of animated type of look, and I really would love to see a show where the characters look like that kind of styling. I really do like the kind of base body that they're using for these figures. So as you can see, this has the kind of New 52 lining here with the kind of pentagon on the shoulder there, and then you've got the lines going down on the chest, and we've got the lines on the legs here too, and on the knee pads right there. The figure just looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm just going to cover the accessories real quick before we go into articulation and whatnot, and how these two compare, or not specifically these two figures. This is just a representation of pretty much any Batman from the DC Universe Classics line. But I'm just gonna give a review for this figure, and then also just show you, for all those people who are just really sad about that line going, that if they want to carry on collecting 6-inch DC figures, this can be an option. So first of all, you get the accessory that he has in his hand right here. You get two of these. This is a smoke grenade. So taking a closer look at the smoke bomb, you can see it has a bat on there, and it actually has that on both sides. And the reason it has this big ring is so that you can attach it to the back. As you can see, the other one is already attached on there. You get two pegs that just stick out from the back. It's covered from the cape, it doesn't stick out too much, doesn't get in the way. And you also get a pair of handcuffs, but the only problem is that they don't really fit around the hands that you get on any of these figures, really. You could force it, but I wouldn't really want to. I mean, you can stretch it over these fists, but I don't feel good doing it. But they fit perfectly on other 6-inch action figures' hands. So if we take a look at the DC Universe Classics line here, as you can see, you can just about wedge it around and whatnot, and you can it fits a lot better on characters that have closed fists and whatnot. But it's a nice little accessory to have. I mean, you could just have him holding it. Doesn't mean you have to actually use it. And again, it has the hole in it, so if you don't want him holding it, or if you don't want to use it, you can always store it back there if you wish. I'm probably just going to store the two smoke grenades back here, but you know, pretty nice accessories. Now the black version actually comes with a grapple gun and two batarangs, so I do prefer the blue, but I do prefer the accessories that come with the regular version, so I may get that. But in just two figures, you're getting, you know, a really good bunch of accessories to use for one or both of your action figures. Whereas with the Classics line, you know, you barely ever got a Batarang with your Batman figures. So let's just take another look at the detail here. We've got a very, very nice Bat logo there. We have a little bit of paint tap on this belt here, but not too much. And then, you know, that's pretty much it really. I mean, you got the blue paint up down here, you get a bit of moulding down here on the boots. On the back you do actually get some pretty nice sculpted lines in there too. Only problem is, like here, I get a bit of, I don't know, it looks like it's kind of scratched up, and then that also carries on over onto the inside of the gauntlets here. You can kind of see it looks a bit scratched up inside there. Now, a bit of heat will sort that out perfectly fine, but it is a bit of an annoyance that that's there. The head sculpt looks really, really nice, very kind of animated feel. Not too sharp with the paintwork just underneath the nose there, but it works perfectly fine. So overall, I am very happy with the design and everything of this figure. Now, as for the articulation of the figure, this is where it differs from those older lines, and it's also something that people have really pointed out that, hey, maybe this is, you know, more why it could be driven towards kids and whatnot. So the head moves up a little bit, not too much, and also, you know, same down, not too much, but it does move left and right very well. And then the shoulders, they come out this much and do a full 360-degree rotation. We have a single bicep hinge there, which goes to 90 degrees, and it also rotates at that joint as well. And then you do actually get a swivel at the wrist as well. So far, not too different to any DC Universe Classics figures. We do have a waist joint, and this belt is actually floating, so if you wanted to, you could move the belt with the torso. But really it's just meant so that the torso moves freely on its own. And bear in mind, that was actually very stuck for me. I actually had to heat that up to get that to move, but now it works perfectly fine. But we don't get any ab crunch out of these figures. That's one big thing that obviously a lot of people really do like in their action figures, and it's not there. However, the legs, they are a hell of a lot better than the DC Universe Classics joints. They don't look horrible inside here. I'll just move the cape. As you can see, you don't have massive gaps in there. So that is way better than any DC Universe Classics Batman, in my opinion. They go forward a good amount, not back at all. They only have a single jointed knee, which a lot of DC Universe Classics figures had anyway. Don't get a boot cut, but many of those Batman figures didn't. You don't get a thigh cut or anything. Most older Batman figures didn't. And then you also just get the up and down movement at the foot, which most Batman figures had. So apart from missing that one piece of articulation there in the abs, that is the only thing missing from DC Universe Classics. You know, it's literally exactly the same articulation as this guy over here, apart from that ab crunch. So for people complaining that there's less articulation in this, it's really not that much. Obviously, without that piece of articulation, with not as much paint detail and whatnot, obviously that means that they can drive the price down a bit. Now that means that, yes, more parents are going to buy it for their kids because the price is lower, so therefore, you know, you could say it's more kid-friendly, and it doesn't come with the collect pieces and whatnot, so you can also say it's not really collector-friendly in that sense. But it is. It means it's cheaper, so you can buy more figures. It's not going to be as an expensive line. And cloth cape. How many times have you got a Batman figure and you go, wow, I can't wait to pose this guy. You get him in some kind of crouching position and then, oh, I can't put him down because the cape's stopping me. Well, this guy, the cape reaches down to the floor, which most Universe Classics figures did not, and also, obviously, you can get him in whatever pose you want with what articulation you have, and the cape does not hinder it whatsoever. I mean, I absolutely adore cloth capes. It's not too much of a difference colour-wise. It's a little bit lighter. than the rest of the moulding there, but not too much. And I think it's probably going to be a closer match on the black one anyway, but this really is not that much different. And I just think it's an absolutely fantastic figure. Half the price of the Universe Classics figures. Granted, you don't get any Collect and Connect pieces, but the later waves didn't anyway. And then you're only losing a little bit of articulation there, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. You're getting a few nice accessories, and hopefully this line really does take off. Like I say, you've got that Batman Beyond figure, so you do have the kind of collector versions of these guys, but I definitely do recommend these. Even if you just like one or two figures, like me, I'm only gonna pick a few, because there are many other DC collectibles ranges out there that I collect from, such as the animated series and the 7-inch figures. So this is an absolutely fantastic figure if you want to pick him up. If you like Batman, or you just like the Superman, or you just like the Green Lantern, I definitely recommend that you at least get one of these guys just to try them out if you're a collector. And they are obviously much better for kids, with them being half price than the old classics figures. So if you are a parent and you're watching the review because you want to buy it for a kid, I'd say just definitely go ahead. It's an absolutely fantastic figure to get. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to check out more pictures of my collection or any updates for upcoming reviews, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. The links are in the description below. It's Homerino123 for both. And if you want to see reviews of the other figures that I showed you at the start, along with many other action figure reviews, then go ahead and click on that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.